Today I'm going to show you a behind the scenes of our shipping process. What's it like when we pack our orders? What do we put them in? How do we drop them off at the post office? What's important and what are just some plain old lessons that I had to learn the hard way?
We got orders.
Let's go through the picking and packing process together. This is a tote. I use this big box to hold all the packages when we head over to the post office. I need something to carry them in. This is another option. These right here are post office bags. You can go to your local post office and you can request these bags and you can fill them up with your packages, wrap them up like a big bag of Christmas presents, and you can leave them out on the doorstep for the post office to come pick up. You can also bring them to the post office and staple your end of day form, which is also known as your multi-scan sheet, and you can drop that off at the post office. So it can save you a ton of time if you pre-pack everything here. I'd learn how to ship the hard way. So by showing you the correct way, hopefully it saves you some time and headache. These are all orders. They've all been printed out on a 4x6-inch label. It's sticky and it's a thermal printer. So it doesn't use ink or toner. It uses light and heat to print. Oh, let me tell you, it makes life so much easier. If you have that option, it's the best. I use a Dymo 4XL. That's the type of label printer I use. It looks like this. You can grab them on Amazon. They are worth every penny, let me tell you. This is the dopamine hit that I live for. So I've pre-printed everything, and now I'm going to pick it and pack it. That's a term you might hear. And as you grow in e-commerce, you're gonna hear it a lot more often. Picking and packing is what it means to grab the item off the shelf, and then the pack part is when you put it in the actual envelope. Makes sense, right? These are the envelopes that we use to ship in. We get them from Uline because they're affordable, they're recyclable, they're durable, and they are fairly cheap. This will fit a single pack, a 2-pack, a 3-pack, and a 4-pack. So they'll cover most of our orders. The first thing that I do is I label each one of these envelopes that I need to pack a single pack of. All of these envelopes are going to get 1 bottle of Maker's Magic. After I put all the stickers on, I'm gonna pack them and put them in the box. The reason I do it this way is because I've messed this up before. It's really easy to pre-label everything and then look at it and be like, oh crap, what did Jennifer order? Because I don't print out packing slips, I don't know. So I have to be very diligent and not mess this up. Always handy to have a trash can nearby when you're doing this stuff. The next thing that I do is I set myself up for success. That means I'll take the envelopes and I'll sit them right here next to me so that when I pick them up, it's one motion to grab it and stick it in. Every time you pick up and touch a package, it's considered a touch point. Let's see if you can count the touch points with my pick and pack right now. How many do you think that was? It's 1 to pick up the envelope. It's 2 to grab a bottle. And it's 3 to seal it and drop it in the box. So that's 3 touches. Now, what if my envelopes were over here? 1 to pick it up and flip it over, 2 to open it, 3 to grab the Maker's Magic, and 4 to seal it and drop it in here. That 1 touch point extra by grabbing the mailer and flipping it over adds a ton of time when extrapolated out over a few hours. So set yourself up for success in this process. Try to do everything all at once of like one type of work and then move on to the other. I call this batching or just doing similar jobs together. Okay, that handles all of the single packs. We're done. Now we need to do the 3-packs. I get myself set up for success. I try to do as few touches as possible. You'll see that my left hand barely moves, and my right hand pretty much does the same thing over and over again. You might be asking, what shipping service are you using, Evan? Because I see Ground Advantage on the labels. Who ships Ground Advantage? That's a great question. This is another mistake that I made in the very beginning, was not understanding the different types of carriers. Just like Walmart, Target, and Big Lots are all different types of stores. They all sell stuff in a retail store, but they all do things very differently. Just like shipping companies. The post office, UPS, FedEx, DHL, they all do stuff a little bit differently. For people that are in e-commerce, The post office is going to be your best friend. Why? Because they're the cheapest. However, when dealing with the post office, it can be a little bit more challenging. We all know how the post office is. It's called going postal for a reason. So you're going to get the lowest level of service. You're going to have the slowest shipping time. You're going to have the highest rate of your packages being lost or destroyed. You're going to have poor tracking that might not always work, but you're going to get the cheapest prices. And that's what makes the post office so special. The cheapest prices. And you and I both know that oftentimes it's about the money, it's not about the level of service. Now, if you are shipping something that needs to be refrigerated or get there within a day or all these other stuff, you might want to look at UPS and FedEx. You will pay a lot more, but you have a higher likelihood of your item arriving safely with proper tracking and without hiccups. You're just gonna have to pay for that. UPS would be the next most expensive. FedEx is the most expensive. I don't recommend using DHL unless you're doing some sort of worldwide shipping. If you really think about it, building a business that does over $1 million in sales, it's a significant amount of packages. It's like 200 packages a day, roughly, at an average order of $30. Dude, what does that mean? It means that somebody actually has to grab the item, put it in the envelope, label it, and ship it off. That costs money. It can totally be you in the beginning. In fact, it probably should be because you won't be able to afford it. I couldn't. And that was another mistake that I want to touch on is do your shipping for a little while. Learn the process. Get good at it. Get used to the costs. Get used to the speed. Get used to dealing with customer service before you pawn it off on a 3PL or another company. Why? Because you need to know how to manage it and you need to know when they're doing a good job and a bad job. And you won't know unless you do it yourself for a little while. You might be asking yourself, well, Evan, you're doing a couple $1 million a year in sales. Why are you packing your items? That's a great question. See that machine right there? I'm also filling the product in my garage. I am making it, I am bottling it, I am labeling it, and I am shipping it. The reason we do it right now is because this is a brand new product. It's only 65 days old. In order for us to iterate, move quickly, get feedback, ship on time, and keep up with demand in the beginning of a product launch, I needed to do it in my garage so that we could save the money, have the speed, and be able to iterate quickly. If I sent all this stuff into a warehouse, I'd have to wait for the product to arrive at their warehouse. I'd have to get them up to speed on how to pack and ship, and it would cost me an extra $2.50 per package. We can't afford that right now. You know, we can't afford that in the beginning of this product launch. We don't have the margin for it. So we've decided to manufacture things in-house to get good at it, so we can then create an SOP or a standard operating procedure and pass that along to our co-packer and our warehouse so they can make the product and ship it according to our standards. It's not okay just to throw stuff in a box and ship it. It needs to be done according to our brand guidelines and how we want to present ourselves to the customer. When people get into e-commerce, they think that they are above talking to customers. They think they're above the manufacturing process or the shipping or the picking and packing process. E-commerce is a down and dirty profession. It's not a niche that's going to be all sunshine and rainbows all the time. We're not building an agency where we just talk to people all the time. We are selling people a physical product. We have to get that product from our manufacturing or our warehouse to the customer. And that means that somebody has to touch it and deliver it. In the beginning, I thought I was above it. I'm not. In fact, my business didn't start doing well until I fully embraced talking to customers, owning those relationships, and just taking care of people. We filled up these units last night, knowing full well that we'd have a bunch of orders to pick and pack today. I really want you to think about how much you're charging for your products. I really want you to think about the unit economics. I want you to think about the amount of profit you're making on each one. That's why I built my profit and margin calculator. So you could calculate your profit and your costs and your shipping to make sure that you understand how much money you're really making on a sale.
Okay.
Look at all my bananas.
Wow.
I built it because I've lost money. Everything I've told you I've experienced firsthand. And let me tell you, it is a sobering thing when you realize that you have thousands of dollars in sales, but you're losing money. It really hurts, and I never want to make that mistake again, and I don't want you to ever have to make that mistake. So I make videos about this stuff to teach you how to solve those problems, because I've solved them the hard way. Yeah, I've solved them the hard way. No one on the planet I'd rather work with. The orders are out. We have 2 totes over here, and we've got these 2 bags and this last little box. We did it, about 250 orders. We've got the packages loaded up. I'm gonna go get my end of day form, and we're gonna get out of here. You ready, Bear? Yeah, buddy. Let's go to the post office. Here we go. If you don't want to go to the post office and drop your packages off for them, you can set up a carrier pickup. And so you can do that by either visiting the local post office yourself, or you can get it all scheduled online through stamps.com. Now, this is something that you would want to do if you were having regular pickups from your house. Let's say you were shipping 10 to 50 units a day, right? Then you would want the carrier to come by and pick them up on the mail route. But because I'm shipping 150 units a day at times, I don't want to burden my carrier with that much stuff. I want to treat them with respect and kindness and bring it myself. However, if this was something that I had to do for a long time, I would absolutely have them come pick it up. But you know, I really only have to ship for maybe 1 or 2 more weeks, and while we're in this transition period, moving to our new 3PL. There's a lot of different ways you can go about this. My intention is to show you all these different options so that you can make the decision that works best for you. Some people will have a warehouse where they will hire people to come by and pack their orders for them, pay them a few $100 a week, and then they have the UPS or they have the post office worker come by the warehouse to pick up the packages. So there's all kinds of combinations here. What we want to do is we want to save you as much time and money as possible to get the products to your customers. That's how I would be thinking about it, at least. This is what the back dock looks like, and this is the container that I grab and I wheel down. This is what it looks like when you fill up a bin of everything. Now I'm gonna push it up and we'll be done. Okay, the packages made it up onto the dock and they have the multi-scan sheet and they're good to go. This is what the back of the post office looks like. Small town, but I love this place. People are so nice, they're so good to me. We did it. We are done at the post office. I'm really happy. Everyone at the post office has been so nice. As long as you have an end of day form for them, or multi-scan sheet as they call it, they will treat you kindly. But if you create more work for them, don't expect to be treated nicely. That's what I learned the hard way, at least. I hope this helps. I really do. Kindness always wins. Let's go home and make some more content so we can sell more Maker's Magic.